Election Yard checking in, and it's because we have a few U.S. House special elections coming up here in September. The one we're going to discuss today is right here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. It's the 11th District, and they are going to the polls on Tuesday, September 9th. First, let's set the stage with how we got here. The 11th District of Virginia is an open Democratic seat, which was previously represented by Gerry Connolly, a member who had a good bit of clout on Capitol Hill. He was first elected to Congress in 2008, flipping the seat from red to blue, and he served as the 11th District's member until May, when he passed away after succumbing to cancer. As for the district itself, because we're nice people here at Election Yard, we have a little map which you can now see on your screen. The 11th lies entirely in Northern Virginia. It doesn't touch the border with D.C., but it gets a nice swath of the Virginia D.C. suburbs. Not the inner suburbs. Those are the 8th District and Don Beyer, but the 11th includes Fairfax City, Lorton, Centerville, Reston, Tysons, and a couple of runways at Dulles Airport. It's all of Fairfax City and is otherwise contained within Fairfax County. How did Connolly do here last time? The late member fought his last election in the 11th not too long ago, in November 2024. Connolly was popular up there, and he beat his GOP opponent less than a year ago by a hefty margin of 67 to 33%. It had been many years since Connolly faced a close race. So, who is running to replace Connolly? Both parties had their expedited primary processes, and they came up with this. The Democrats nominated James Walkinshaw from the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors, while the GOP nominee is Stuart Whitson, a former FBI agent. If we're going to start sizing up this special election, we need to talk about the situation on the ground. Let's profile the 11th District, and the first thing you need to know is that it's pretty blue. It didn't always used to be, but it is now. Democrats don't struggle here too much these days, though I remember when this was Tom Davis country, the Republican who preceded Connolly. In case you require another data point to speak to the district's blueness, Kamala Harris won it by 34 points, just like Connolly did in 2024. This was in spite of the fact that the Commonwealth as a whole swung a few points towards Trump. So this area is locked in pretty solid. In fact, I don't think Trump won a single precinct in the district in 2024. The 11th is a majority-minority district, according to the latest demographic data from the census. It's 47% white. Perhaps even more interestingly, and I think those who know the area could have probably told you this themselves, this is one of the wealthiest congressional districts in the United States. It's in the top 10 for sure, and I think specifically it's ranked 8th in income out of 435. Go on Zillow sometime and check out the house prices in these areas. If you live on the East Coast and are as familiar with, say, the Northeast as I am, you wouldn't be shocked into submission by some of these prices. But some of you out there might be shocked to see a 2,300 square foot house going for $850, and I don't mean $850 either. Add it all up and you have a reliably blue district full of people with money, and most are non-white. And that's the 11th District. And you know what else the 11th District has? Federal workers. You know whose jobs have been under existential threat since January? Federal workers. I think you know how a bunch of them will be voting, both now and in Virginia's statewide races in November. The economy, jobs, and Donald Trump are all at the forefront here, and none of that is great news for the GOP. Though, let's be honest, it was going to be tough either way. Expect Walkinshaw to win this race. Special elections are difficult to predict in terms of margins, even at the federal level, but Democrats are feeling pretty optimistic. As for the next point, there is no next point. There's really not that much more to say. If the Democrats lose this seat, something went horribly, horribly wrong, and they're going to have a lot of questions to answer. So stay tuned for the special election on Tuesday to see who will be going to Congress. As of now, the U.S. House is 219 Republicans to 212 Democrats, so adding another Democrat would narrow that margin. And there's a good chance it will narrow further in a couple of weeks. More on that race later. In the meantime, like and subscribe, electionyard.com, and find us on our socials.